CQ, CQ, CQ. Is this frequency in use? Is this frequency in use?
The frequency will be in use in about 10 or 15 minutes. The division starts here, over.
Roger that, roger that.
W6WAY, was that you in there, Jim? Very down in the noise here, WA6LJS.
Yeah, okay, I switched, I turned on to it.
Jim, you're S8 into Idaho. Very good signal. You might be too close to John, but great signal here, Jim. K4YDB. Yeah, you were on the list, but they were having problems with the net logger there. You were initially on the list, and somehow you got dropped off. You're currently, John has you on there at number 12 right now, Jim, no problem, and apologize for yesterday. That was oversight. Glad you popped in there. It happens with net logger. It's not perfect, so very good. Hang in there with us, Jim. Always enjoy having you. K4YDB.
K4YDB, W4PUO, you're 5'9" in Belleville, Bob.
Good morning, Lee. About a 5'8" here thus far. 5'8", very good to hear you there. How's your background noise level?
No problem today. I had some sort of an intermittent thing in the local area here. I'm not really interested in doing anything about it unless it's on and buzzing. So it sounds like, you know, the kind of signal that has bothered everybody, like the Chinese radar. It's intermittent, and when it's on, it seems to only bother people in this town. So we'll figure it out eventually. Live with it for now. K4YDB, W4PUO is standing by for the Air Force's Flyers Club net.
Very good, Lee. Sounded great. You're up 8.5 F strength there, so K4YDB standing by. And yeah, that radar is certainly intermittent. You never know. I'd like to talk about it though, then they come up on it. Hi. K4YDB.
WW5ENC, WA6LJS. WW5ENC, WA6LJS.
Hey, good morning, John. This is WW5ENC. How's it going today?
Yeah, good morning, Mike. Yeah, I thought you were down in the noise, but you came up real strong. Yeah, I wonder if you could ride with me on net logger. Lee has got power failure there, so he's on battery power and he doesn't have the net logger ability. But I got it up and running. But I am expecting a phone call, so if you could just kind of ride herd for me, be appreciated. Over.
Roger. Yeah, I've been working in the garage. I just turned on my set and everything, and I get out here, and yeah, I heard you out there. Cool. All right, yeah, I'll take it over. WW5ENC.
Roger. WA6LJS standing by for the Air Force Flyers net, top of the hour. slowed way down enough that I could get the weekend off. Down there for that this afternoon. But anyway, lucky I could get the day off.
Roger, roger. KFOP, OPE, KFO, KF0 OPE, WW5DB. Yeah, it kind of faded out on me a little bit there, but something about EA.
Yeah, Roger, my son is getting promoted to
Where's your station?
he's in the Nebraska Air Guard.
Roger that. I remember that. That was a good day. Always a good day when you get promoted.
Yeah. I'll be standing by for KF0.
WW5ENZ, good morning, Chief. K4YDB here. Could you put K0ZNC up on the list, please? He'll try to stay with us all day. Thanks, Mike. K4YDB. Stand by for the pointers. WB5DRI, you there, Brian?
Yeah, K1BOB, WB5DRI. Good morning, Bob.
Oh, good morning to you. Just wanted to make sure. I think it's just about net time there. I was getting ready to take over in case you were absent. Anyway, very good. Glad to hear you. A great signal. K4YDB.
Okay, Bob, you too. You're over the 9 mark with me this morning. Sounding good, dear. This is WB5DRI. We'll be net control this morning for the Air Force's Flyers Club net. We'll be starting up in about 2 minutes on this frequency at the top of the hour.
KB0LTT Mobile, North Dakota. Check in.
Who's the North Dakota? KB0, what's the call there? WA6LJS?
Yeah, John, this is Larry. Kilo Bravo 0 Lima.
Oh, okay, real good, Larry. Yeah, you came up that time. You were weak when I first heard you, but now you're up almost to a 9 there. Very good, Larry. We'll get you on the list there. KB0LTT Mobile, WA6LJS.
QSL, John. Thank you. We'll be standing by for that.
WA6LJS, WW5ENZ.
Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, did you have a membership number for Larry?
I don't think so, but I'll put the other computer on and pull up the roster.
Roger, roger. Yeah, I put him on here, but I didn't get a number, so I may not have ever saved him. KB0 LTT WW5ENZ.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm not retired military personnel. I'm just a visitor. Over.
Okay. I was wondering about that, Larry. I was going to ask you, but that's great. We'll just make you like a permanent visitor.
QSL, we'll take it.
Okay, it's about that time, 1500Z, 10 o'clock Central Time. Let's go ahead and get this thing started. This is WB5DRI, Brian down in San Antonio, and we'll be net control this morning for the Air Force's Flyers Club net. This net meets on 14.29 or 0 every day of the year, normally starting up about this time. I want to welcome all stations to our net. The Flyers Club consists of military aviation members, both active and retired, and veterans of all the military services, to include pilots, air crew, ground crew, air traffic controllers, missile crews, support crews, and anyone involved with military aviation from all of the air branches of all of our military services. We also very much like to welcome visitors to the net, and you don't need to be involved with the military or aviation in order to check in. Our purpose is to promote fellowship between those radio amateurs who devote a portion of their lives to support our air forces. This is a control net. To contact net control, use the words contact, relay, check-in, or info. We also have a very good website at www.airforcesplural.club.org. I repeat, airforcesplural.club.org, which has a lot of good information about our net, and also bios from our members, and an application if you would like to join. Again, that's not necessary in order to check in. My call sign again is WB5DRI, and my name is Brian, and I'm located down here in South Central Texas in the Alamo City, San Antonio, Texas. Our format for this net is we take check-ins, and then we go down the list, allowing each station to give their reports, and then we go back for a second 73 round if there's time. And usually on Saturdays we have a little bit more time for the net. This morning, thus far, on the list from NetLogger, I have the following stations. I have K4YDB, Don. Good morning to you, Don, up in Longmont, Colorado. I have Larry, KB0LTT, who's mobile. Good morning to you, Larry. I have W4PUO, Lee, who's my neighbor to the east over in Belleville, Texas. Good morning to you, Lee. I have my Arlington, Texas neighbor, N5BE, Lee. Good morning to you also, Lee. And I hope your power outage gets resolved there. And then I have KF7GJO, Carl, who is out in Sparks, Nevada. Good morning to you, Carl. Then I have W7AJN, John, who's out in Arizona, in Peoria, Arizona, I believe. Good morning to you, John. Then I have WA6LJS, John, in Hamul, California. Good morning to you, John. And thanks for doing the NetLogger there with Mike, with WW5ENZ. Then I have our commander, K1BOB, Bob. Good morning again, Bob. Then I have Joe, W5ABI, who's out in Las Cruces, New Mexico. Good morning to you, Joe. Then I have Ray, WV2JJO, who's in New Jersey. Good morning, Ray. Then I have Chris, KS5KY. Good to see you back in there with us from Kentucky there, Chris. Good to have you with us this morning. We miss you when you're working throughout the week there, but it's good to have you there. Then we have Charlie, K4YDB. Good morning to you also, Charlie, and thanks for doing the live stream on YouTube, if you type in Charlie's call sign, K4YDB, the live stream for our net will come up. And it's an outstanding live stream. And we also have the question of the day on there. It's something we do for fun on this net. Then we have break with Charlie. Let's go to, let's see, W6WAY is next on the list. That's Jim in Corona, California. Good morning to you, Jim. Then we have WW5ENZ, Chief Mike, up near Oklahoma City. Good morning again, Mike, and thanks for helping out with the net logger. And then we have KF0OPE, another Mike up in Nebraska, and good to have you back with us there, Mike. I know you've been busy the last few weeks doing quite a bit of crop testing there, so it's good to have you back on the net. Then we have actually my older brother Dale, W5OG. Good morning to you, Dale, and love to you and Carolyn there. Let's see, then we have, looks like last on the list so far is KI5GLC. It looks like Charles up in Oklahoma. So very good. Good to have you with us there, Charles, and we'll get down to you here shortly. Okay, that's the list as I have it. Let me see if we can get a call out from the West Coast and the East Coast. John, WA6LJS, could you put out a call, please, sir? Wilco, this WA6LJS relaying for net control for the Saturday morning Air Force Flyers Net. We're looking for check-ins, either members or visitors. Call now. Oh, we got Bob in there, K2SJP remote. Anybody else? No, just Bob, K2SJP remote. Back to you, Brian. Okay, John, thank you for that. Yeah, we've got Bob on the list. Good morning to you, Bob, and let's get a call out from the East Coast there someplace. How about Charlie, K4YDB? Can you put out a call, please, sir?
Roger. This is K4YDB relaying for net control. We're looking for check-ins to the Air Force's Flyers Club net. Members or guests, please call now. It's all quiet here, Brian.
Okay, thank you very much, Charlie. Appreciate that. Did we have any other short-timers any short-timers this morning? I don't know of any so far. Any short-timers out there for the net? WB5DRI, please call now. Well, hearing none, let's go ahead and get started. I do have a question this morning. It's fairly straightforward, and I think I was inspired by N5BE Lee and his World War II questions, but I ran across this in a book that I've been reading called Operation Vengeance by Dan Hampton, and it's a very good coverage of the Pacific War around on Guadalcanal and around Guadalcanal, and all of the aircraft that were involved and pilots that were involved in the Yamamoto attack there over Bougainville, which is north, of course, of Guadalcanal. But anyway, here's the question. The question is, what British RAF World War II aircraft came closest to the US P-38 Lightning in that it was a very fast, single-seat, two-engine, heavily armed aircraft? So this was, of these aircraft, which one is the closest to our P-38 Lightning? Okay, the possible answers are Alpha, de Havilland, Mosquito, Bravo, the Bristol Blenheim, Charlie, the Bristol Bullfighter, or Delta, the Westland Whirlwind? That's the question. If anybody needs any repeats, please let me know. Over. Okay, I don't hear anything, so let's go ahead and get started. Bob, I guess you're going to bring in Don this morning. I appreciate that. K1BOB to bring in K0ZNC. Good morning, Don. You're up for the net. WB5DRI.
K1BOB, I think Joe, W7ABI, was asking you'd like to hear the answers to the questions one more time.
Roger. I didn't hear that. Sorry about that. Yeah, the answers. The first answer was Alpha, the de Havilland Mosquito. Was it the Mosquito, or was it Bravo, the Bristol Blenheim? Was it the Blenheim? Or Charlie, was it the Bristol Bullfighter? Or Delta, was it the Westland Whirlwind? And Charlie was the Bristol Bullfighter, and Delta was the Westland Whirlwind. So, did you get those answers okay that time, over?
Did you hear the answers, Joe?
W5ABI. I got it the first time.
W5ABI, WB5DRI. Did you hear those okay, Joe?
Bring in Don there for you. This is K1BOB, the simulcast for K0ZNC. You're up, Don. Yeah, you're up. Did you have a question, Don?
Okay, real quick. K0ZNC, Don in Longmont, Colorado here. I think my church was the doctor, so I'll take advantage of it while I'm here. Good morning to all the flyers. Wish you a really a nice day brewing today, except for the fire that's close. I've currently got about 5 different forest fires. Real close by. When I say real close, I think the furthest one away is only about 35 miles away from us. There's one that's about 6 miles up between us. Up in a little town called Lyon, which is west of Longmont, Colorado here. And that's the only fire that we've had a fatality in. They discovered a fatality a couple days ago in that fire. I don't recall, but I don't think it's more than about 30%, 5% contained yet. So it's a disastrous fire for us. The only problem I'm having here is that the smoke from the fire is pretty heavy. There is a slight breeze, but it does blow out of the west and carries all the smoke and ash and stuff down over Longmont here. So we're suffering through that. The current temperature is 76 degrees. The high today is going to be 96, I think they said, with 0
K1DOB, back to net.
Okay, real fine, Don. K0ZNC, WB5DRI. Well, good to hear you this morning, Don, and sure hope those wildfires stay away from close to where you are there. I know that they're not that far away, but I hope they get all those under control and put out quickly. And good to hear you this morning. And we got your answer there as Delta, the Westland Whirlwind. So we'll see how that comes out. Good to hear you this morning, Don. Let's see, break with you. Let's go to our mobile station this morning, KB0LTT, Larry. Good morning, Larry. You're up for the net, WB5DRI.
Got winds at 340 at 15 miles an hour, visibility 10 or more, temperature 77 Fahrenheit, dew point 64 Fahrenheit, humidity 65%, and the altimeter is 3000. Beautiful day to be up in the air, by golly, be flying around in a little old biplane or a single engine aircraft. I'm going to go with A Alpha, the de Havilland Mosquito, for the answer to the question there that was kind of rival to P-38 Lightning. P-38 Lightning is my favorite World War II aircraft, and I had a chance to get up close and personal with one at Oshkosh back in 2007. Beautiful aircraft, in my opinion. If there was anything on my bucket list I wanted to do, it would be to go up in a P-38 Lightning and take the control just for a few minutes. I think that would be just fascinating to try something like that. So, Brian, that's my answer. Don't know how well you're copying me. Hopefully I'm getting into the Utah remote. So, WB5DRI at the Air Force Flyers Club. This is Kilo Bravo 0, Lima Tango Tango, 18 World Mobile in North Central North Dakota. Thank you.
Okay, Larry. 100% copy there, KB0, Lima Tango Tango, WB5DRI. Good to hear you this morning, Larry, and drive safe there in central North Dakota, and sounds like you're having a beautiful day up there in North Dakota, and I envy you those cooler temperatures there. 77 degrees is nice. We're going to be up to 101 today. I think this is going to be our first 100 or over degree day for San Antonio. So we'll see what happens. But good to hear you, Larry. And I got your answer there as Alpha, the mosquito, the de Havilland mosquito. So break with you. Let's go ahead and move on. Let's go to Lee. W4PUO, my neighbor to the east. Good morning, Lee. You're up, sir. WB5DRI.
WB5DRI, W4PUO in Belleville, Texas. And the weather here is just beautiful today. I hope it's good in San Antonio, Brian. And I'm hearing everybody very clearly this morning. I had a little bit of 5 minutes or so of intermittent RFI, but it's gone now. I'm hearing people fine. I think it's going to be a hot one. We expect sun all day, and the humidity, is, of course, in the Houston area is always a present theme. I'm going to answer Alpha also. I'm going to answer Alpha, the mosquito, and I hope that finds a right answer for me today. Larry, I'm not really sure, but I'm also a fan of the P-38. My dad brought home a model from his travels in World War II, and it was one of the toys I played with. So glad to hear you have that on your bucket list, Larry. Thank you, Brian, for joining the net, and I'll be glad to stay and show you W4PUO.
Okay, Lee. Lee, good to hear you this morning. W4PUO, WB5DRI. Well, you're sounding good over here on the SDRs this morning, Lee. So very good on your weather there, and yeah, it's going to be a hot one here. We're already right around the 90-degree mark, so if that tells you anything, you know, at 10 o'clock we're close to around 10 o'clock we're close to 90 degrees, so already, so we know it's going to be pretty warm here. Anyway, good to hear you, Lee. I got your answer there as Alpha, the mosquito, so we'll see how that comes out. Break with you. Let's go to another Lee, our Arlington, Texas Lee, N5BE. Good morning, sir. You're up. WB5DRI.
You went with A, answer Alpha, Brian, K1DOB.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much, Bob. Yeah, I was hearing you on the SDRs there, Lee, but your signal's a little bit down, and I understand you have a power outage going on there, so you're not running very much power. But good to hear you this morning. And I got you down for Alpha there, I believe, the mosquito. So I hope I did this question right. Anyway, we'll see how this comes out. Break with you. Let's go out to Carl in Sparks, Nevada, KF7GJO. Good morning, Carl. You're up for the net, sir. WV5DRI.
Good morning, Brian, and the group. This is KF7GJO. Hey, we've got an overcast condition with clear skies above it. I think it's kind of dry and rain. Love to see a thunderstorm to cool everything off, but hey, we'll take whatever they give us. Well, interesting, August 3rd. Today is the 43rd anniversary of the infamous PATCO controller strike. And yeah, I was a PATCO member, and when I took a staff position, then I became a non-voting associate member. It was quite a day in the air traffic control field. Don't know how many pilots here remember that day, but boy, things certainly changed in an interesting way. In my staff position, I would have gone to the last facility where I was, where I controlled traffic, which is Las Vegas, McCarran, and I did not want to go back to Vegas. Turns out they had 100% walkout at Sacramento Metro, so I raised my hand, volunteered, went over to Metro, for a 7-month vacation as an acting team supervisor. So it was the worst of times and it was the best of times. Okay, today's question, and boy, I thought pretty darn sure I had the answer until I listened to Lee give his speech, and then that made me wonder. But my first choice was A, Alpha, with the Avalon Mosquito, and right, wrong, or indifferent, I'm going to stick with that one, buddy. So, hey, a great net this morning, and I'll send it back to you, be with you to the bottom, and looking forward to hearing my answer. WB5DRI, KF7GJO.
KF7GJO, WB5DRI. Well, I'm hearing you very, very well this morning, Carl, mostly on the radio some, and also very well on the SDRs. Very loud there, but good to hear you. And I got your answer as the Mosquito Alpha, so we'll see how that comes out. And very good on interesting about the air traffic controller strike. Yeah, I remember. I think Reagan was the one who took care of that. But as I recall, but yeah, that's been some time ago. But another interesting part of our history. And I think I remember reading that during World War II there were a lot of strikes that caused problems that really, unfortunately, slowed the production of aircraft and other things that were needed for the war. So that was too bad. I think the unions did not do any good things at that time to be doing strikes. But anyway. Let's go ahead and move on. Good to hear you, Carl, and glad things are going well for you there in Sparks. Let's move on to W7AJN, John, out in Arizona, in New River, I think, or is it Peoria? I can't remember. I think it's Peoria. Let's try that and see if that's right. W7AJN. Good morning, John. You're up. WV5DRI. Okay, John, very good. Good to hear you this morning. W7AJN, WB5DRI. What was your answer there, John? Was it Alpha or Delta? What was your answer? Over. Okay, I think I heard you say Alpha. I hope I have that correct. Let me check the net logger and make sure. Yeah, it looks like it's Alpha. So we'll put you down for Alpha there. Let's go ahead and move on. Break with W7AJN. Let's go to one of our net logger net controllers out in Hamul. John, good morning. WA6LJS, you're up, sir. WB5DRI.
Okay, thank you, Brian. This is WA6LJS. Good morning to the net. Well, so far I'm hearing everybody except John, AJN. I had to use the SDR for him. But other than that, everybody else is coming in locally here. Let's today. It was kind of a hot one yesterday. We got up 90 yesterday, and we're going to be up to 90-something today. It's going to be a hot one. And that brings up a question. I wonder if anybody knows. I've noticed yesterday on my air conditioner, it seems to take a longer time to cool the house down. I usually like to leave the house around 78 degrees. And when it was close to 90 yesterday, it seemed to take a while to get it down there. And I'm thinking it might be low on Freon or whatever the new gas is on the newer air conditioner. So I measured the air coming out of the vent, and the temperature of the air coming out of the vent was 68 degrees. And I thought it should be colder than that. I thought it should be around maybe 55 or so. If anybody knows that, knows enough about air conditioning to know how much the central air should cool down the air. Other than that, nothing else. The question, well, who am I to bust the lemmings? I'm going to go with Alpha 2. I'm not really sure. It seems to be a strong lemming line today. So put me down for Alpha, the mosquito. So back to you, Brian, and you're a good 15 over 9 as usual, coming in nicely. WB5DRI, WA6LJS.
Okay, John, very good. WA6LJS, WB5DRI. Well, you're moving in here as well, around the 9 mark there, John. So very good. And thanks for all your help, along with Mike this morning on the net logger. And I got your answer there as Alpha. So very good. Let's go ahead and move on. Break with you. Let's go to our commander up in near Boise, Idaho. K4YDB. Bob, good morning again, sir. WB5DRI.
K4YDB, good morning, Brian, and everybody on the net. And thanks for doing the net logger there, John, along with Leon there, I guess. And good to be here. John's question there, John, it's not what comes out. It's what your thermostat reads, and it'll try to demand more or less where the thermostat is, not anywhere else, on what it's telling the unit to provide. It should have, it depends on your weather. If the ambient temperature out is over 100, I think most air conditioning there is rated for standard conditions. Mine has no problem. I've got a very hot third floor because it's up near the roof line, and it's got a separate unit up there. It works pretty hard to get it up to down to 70 when it's been close to 100 out. But once it gets it there, it has no problem. We usually run ours 72 to 74 in the house, and the basement always stays at 67 all year long. And so we pipe up some of that cool air, even though it's air conditioned down here. Why they did that, I don't know. You never need it. But anyway, I use one of those, you might have one of those laser thermometers where you can read stuff, just point at it and read the temperature. I find it real handy just to know what it is like when I go out in my garage and the differences between the roof, like the ceilings are going to be very hot, believe it or not. So running ceiling fans is just pushing down that hot air that gathers up there. It's good in the winter, though. We always run them in the winter. We run them during the summer, too, though. Anyway, get to your question here. I'll stop gabbing. Oh, boy, my first thought was bow fighter. I like the bow fighter. Then I read your, and I go, Bob, read the question again, because you always get these wrong when you don't completely read the question. So I think you said single seater. I'm pretty sure the mosquito was side by side. The Bristol Breno, I don't know. I think it had a crew. Probably because it had a gunner in it, pilot, and a navigator or bomber. I think it had a crew of at least 3. I really don't know how many. So that doesn't fit the one-person fighter kind of thing. And the bow fighter, I know, has a crew of 2. Sometimes I think they could go with just the pilot, depending on the mission. Maybe the same thing with a mosquito. I'm going to go, I'm guessing I'm going against City Hall here. I'm going to say Delta. I think the Westland Whirlwind, I don't know about its armament or anything, but it was a twin engine, and looked more like a fighter. It looked more like a P-38, but it didn't have the twin booms. It was more conventional two-prop aircraft. So put me down for Delta. I don't mind losing. K1BOB. Back to you, Brian.
Okay, Bob, very good. K1BOB, WB5DRI. Well, I got you down for Delta there, Bob. So very good. Let's go ahead and move on here. Let's go out to Las Cruces, New Mexico, and see if W5ABI's signal has come up with me, hopefully, this morning. Joe, good morning. You're up, sir. WB5DRI.
Conditions are funny today. Boss got their problems, they won't be able to give you. So, but you're all copyable about F5, but you didn't need to use the SDR. Next day here in Las Cruces, about 80 degrees. Supposed to go up to 100 again. This is the normal temperature right around this time of year. So anyhow, let me see. Boy, you know, I think I'll jump on the lemon line here. Bob's probably right, but I don't want him to take a copy of his answer. So I'll go with Alpha. We'll be here to the bottom, Brian. Thanks for running the WB5DRI, W5ABI.
Yeah, W5ABI, WB5DRI. Well, good to hear you this morning, Joe. And I'm hearing you lightly on the radio and pretty well on the SDRs. So I got you down for Alpha there. So that's very good. Let's go ahead and move on and see how that comes out. Let's go out to New Jersey to Ray and see what his take is on this. WB2JJO. Ray, you're up. Good morning, sir. WB5DRI. Okay, Ray, WB2JJO, WB5DRI. Well, hope you guys are having some decent weather out there, Ray, in New Jersey, on the coast there. Hope it's not too humid this morning. Anyway, got your answer there as Alpha, so very good. Let's go ahead and move on. Let's go to Bowling Green, Kentucky, to Chris. Chris, it's good to have you back in there with us. KS5KY, WB5DRI. Good morning again. Okay, Chris, KS5KY, WB5DRI. Well, you're a solid S9 plus here with me this morning, Chris. Good signal there, and good to hear you, and good to have you back in here with us. And I got your answer there as Alpha, the mosquito. So we'll see how that comes out. Break with you. Let's go to Charlie, our net logger. Thanks again, Charlie, for all you do with the fine website there on YouTube. K4YDB, good morning again. You're up, Charlie, WB5DRI.
WB5DRI, K4YDB. Well, good morning, Brian. Morning to all the flyers out there and all the visitors. Hope everybody's having a great morning. Right now it's 83 degrees here. This morning when I got up to do my walk out in the park, it was only 70. But it was humid this morning. Right now the temperature is only supposed to get up into the high 80s today, which means I'll be, of course, out in the yard doing some yard work. I got one more flower garden to clean out today, and that'll be done with those. And then I can leave it alone until the next time I got to mow, which will probably be in a couple of days. Right now conditions are so-so. I'm hearing a lot of people, but not quite everybody. Bob, K1BLB, he wasn't all that strong into here. But Brian, you've been running a good solid S9 Plus through the whole net, but good copy on you today. As far as the question goes, well, Bob, you had to do that, didn't you? You really did. Because I was going to go with the alphas, but I'm going to follow the commander this morning. I got faith in the guy. All right, WB5DRI, K4YDB. I'm back to net.
Okay, Charlie, K4YDB, WB5DRI. Well, you're a solid S9 plus. Good signal, Charlie. Good to hear you as always, and thanks again for the YouTube live stream there, and we got you down for Delta. You're going to follow the commander there, so very good. We'll see how that comes out. Break with you. Let's go out to Corona, California, to Jim out there, W6WAY. Jim, good morning. You're up, sir. WB5DRI. Okay, Jim, very good. W6WAY, WB5DRI. Well, good to hear you, Jim, and you're about 5'4" on my radio, but I'm hearing you also well on the SDR, and I got your answer there as Alpha. And Jim, you guys are not supposed to have the same high temperature as we're going to have here today. I'm surprised that it's going to be that hot, but I guess California does get hot sometimes as well. But anyway, good to hear you, Jim. break with you. Let's go to another one of our net controllers and the fellow who is helping also with NetLogger this morning, Mike up near Oklahoma City, WW5ENZ. Good morning, Mike. You're up, sir. WB5DRI. Okay, very good, Mike. WW5ENZ, WB5DRI. Well, good to hear you, Mike, and got you down for Alpha there, so we'll see how that comes out. And let's go ahead and move on. Break with you. Let's go to Mike, another Mike up in Nebraska, KF0OPE, who's back from his dust cropping jobs there. Good to have you back in there with us, Mike. And also wanted to congratulate your son there on his promotion to Senior Master Sergeant. You're up, sir. KF0OPE, WB5DRI. Okay, Mike, very good. KF0OPE. Well, good to have you in there with us, Mike. And again, sure am happy to hear about your son there, his promotion to Senior Master Sergeant. Congratulations to him on that. He'll be a chief before you know it there. Anyway, I got you down for Delta. We'll see how that comes out. And 73s, Mike, have a great day there. And please pass our regards to your son there. And our congratulations. Break with you. Let's go on to my older brother, actually, who's up in Rapid City, South Dakota. Good morning to you, Dale, and love to you and Carolyn there. Hope you guys are having some good, cool weather up there. I would imagine that you are. W5OG, WB5DRI. Good morning again, Dale.
Well, Brian, I'm afraid I have to report that in spite of your imagining it, it's not going to happen. It's hot up here, too. But we were, I think, close to 100 degrees yesterday. And it's supposed to be in the high 90s again today, but cooler next week. So back to normal temperatures, I think. Of course, it's dry, but and it's delightful in the evenings and cool overnight. But we're suffering like much of the country with these high temperatures. John, I looked up your situation. What should that temperature be? And I was trying to remember myself. And then I heard what Bob had to say, and I agree with all of that. But I think the school book answer is that it should be around 20 degrees of drop from the ambient temperature. So whatever the temperature is that's coming, the input to your HVAC system, you should see about a 20-degree drop. So maybe yours is not all that bad, and I do concur with what Mike suggested, cleaning the outdoor coils. The line noise is back at home. Switching to another subject here. So I'm back to square one. I was all set to write a very nice thank you note to my power company on fixing the line noise problem, so I can scratch that off my list because it's back. I don't have any idea. I'm back to square one, I guess, on what in the world could be causing it, because apparently it is intermittent. But I had several days there in a row, including the Thursday that I ran the net with no line noise, and it was just great. Let's see what else. The answer. I think the commander's onto something, and I believe the clue is the single seat, and that would be Delta. So put me down for Delta. I think that's the clue to the answer that you were looking for there, Brian. But I don't know. And I'll be here, I guess. Well, we're going to go back up to. We had a very nice lunch yesterday with Justin, KB7LAK, and his wife Julie. Carolyn and I enjoyed meeting them and visiting with them up at the Alpine Inn in Hill City. And we're going.
K6AER.
Hello. Somebody came in on the SDR AER, 6AER, I think. Anyway, you might check him, Brian. I think he's trying to get on the net. But anyway, we did enjoy visiting with KB7LAK Justin. And they're here just for the weekend. They're going to go head back home tomorrow. We hope to get together again with them perhaps this evening. I don't know. But they're here for the Sturgis motorcycle rally, which is in full bloom now with motorcycles everywhere. And very interesting when that happens here. Back to you, Brian. Thanks for doing the Saturday net. WB5 and best love to Susie there. Hope she's doing well. WB5DRI back to net. W5OG.
Okay, Dale, W5OG, WB5DRI. Sounds like you're having some warmer weather too, Dale. Hope that changes and you get a cooling trend next week. I think we're possibly going to have that as well. Hopefully. We'll see. But sorry to hear about your line noise back home at Mineola there. That's kind of crazy that it would be good for 2 or 3 days and then all of a sudden come back again. But those things happen, I guess, unfortunately. But we got your answer there as Delta, and sure happy that you were able to get together with Justin, KB7LAK, and his wife Julie there. And that's fun when you can get together with other members of our club here. So anyway, break with you. Let's go ahead and move on. I do want to recognize K6AER. K6AER. I hope I have the call sign correct there. Did you want to check into our net there? Over.
Well, I'd love to. I was just monitoring and had a comment there on the person's interference. Most likely, unless you hear a 60-cycle component to the interference, it's probably not line noise. And so just to let you know, we're a retired RF engineer here. I don't know which way to point the antenna. I don't know where you guys are at. I'm in New Mexico. This is K6AER.
Okay, K6AER. Good to hear you this morning. What's your name and location there, over?
My name is Mike. I'm out here in the high desert, New Mexico, near Alamogordo.
Okay, Mike, very good. Near Alamogordo there. You're about an S7 with me, Mike. Good to have you on our net, and thanks for that information there. I did not know that it could be something else besides, it doesn't have to be line noise, I guess. It doesn't have to be 60 cycle. It could be something else. So very good. And are you going to be able to stick around with us, Mike?
I'll sit back here and monitor.
Okay, well, we'll call you here. We'll put you on the list and call you at the bottom here and see if you have anything else. But good to have you with us this morning, and thanks for that. Break with K6AER. Let's go back to our list here. I see that Charles in Oklahoma, KI5GLC, has checked out. So we'll give him a 73, and let's go to our Florida station this morning, K2SJP, remote, Bob, down in Lutz, Florida. I guess you're over in Holiday today. Good morning, Bob. K2SJP, you're up, sir. WB5DRI.
K2SJP remote, you're up, Bob. He must have lost his remote connection, Brian, because he was booming in here earlier.
Roger that, John. He may have lost it. We'll come back to him. Try him again here at the bottom. Bob, if you lost your internet or whatever, we'll come back to you. Break. Let's go to another Texas station, KG5PTE. James up in Belton. Good morning, James. You're up, sir. WB5DRI.
WB5DRI, KG5PT on the Yaesu 857. I'm sitting in the passenger seat, and Willie is sitting in the driver's seat, KJ5BWB. We're both here together, headed back from Conference Cove from the meeting. We did not hear the question of the day, so I'll pass. I just want to check into the net, and I'm going to give my 73s here as well, so do not come back to me for the 73 round. I'm going to give it now, and I just wanted to check in for the net, and I'm going to pass the mic over to Willie, KJ5BWB. KJ5BWB, just a quick in and out, a howdy and 7-3s to everyone. Mobile here on the 857, 100 watts and a ham stick. So I heard the SDR, so hopefully we're getting it. Anyways, WB5DRI back to net control, KJ5BWB, 7-3s all.
Okay, James and Willie, KG5PTE and KJ5BWB. Good to hear you guys this morning, and drive safe. And glad you had fun there at your ham club meeting this morning, and have a safe trip going back home there. But very good to have you there with us. 73s to you guys, and we'll look for you on the net the next time. Break with you guys. Let's go to Fred up in Ohio, if he's still with us. KI7FGZ, Fred, in Ashland, Ohio. If you're still with us, Fred, good morning. You're up for our net, WB5DRI. Does anybody hear Fred?
Looks like he checked out on the AIM window, Brian.
Okay, well, we'll give him a 73. Thanks, John. Let's go ahead and move on. Let's try another Texas station here, Melvin, K5KEY, and let's see if he's still in there with us. Melvin, good to have you with us there from Powderly, it looks like, Texas. You're up, sir. WB5DRI. Well, I'm not hearing Melvin either on the radio or the SDRs, so we'll go ahead and move on. We've got another Texas station, KJ5BGB, James in Mineral Wells, Texas. James, if you're still in there with us, you're up for our net, WB5DRI. KJ5BGB. James, are you there? WB5DRI. Does anybody hear James? Well, I don't hear James. Let's go back to Mike there near Alamogordo. K6AER. What else do you have for our net, sir? WB5DRI.
Give me the last part of your call. I've got WB5, but the last part a little quick.
Sorry about that. Yeah, the call sign is Whiskey Bravo 5 Delta Romeo India. It's DRI, and I'm located down here in San Antonio, Texas. Mike, the name is Brian. Over.
Okay, Brian, very good. I normally don't get out here this time of the day, but it is bloody ass hot here in New Mexico. So I'm hiding out in the ham shack with 2 air conditioners going. Running a 7300, a big tube amp, and a 2-element antenna at 90 feet pointed your way. It's nice to hear the bands quiet without all the lightning we get in the afternoon. Anyhow, I'm a retired RF engineer. We got a horse ranch out here. This is the first time I've encountered your net. Everybody sounds pretty good out here. WB5DRI, K6AER.
Well, good to hear you this morning, Mike. You're up to a solid S9 Plus here in San Antonio with me now. And I think I've heard you on the air before many times, and may have possibly worked you in the past. So it's good to hear you this morning. Good to have you with us, and appreciate your information there to the net. And do come back and join us whenever you can. We have a website that's Air Forces, plural, Flyers, plural, club.org, and you might want to check that out. And it's kind of interesting information on there about our net and about our members. But you're always welcome to join us, and it's good to have you with us this morning. Break, that is the bottom of the list as I have it. Did I miss any stations, or do we have any last-minute stations that would like to check into the Flyers Club net before I give the answer to the question there? This is WB5DRI. Please call now. Negative, Bob. Didn't hear anything from you, but go ahead. K2SJP and the other station trying to check in. Please stand by. Go ahead, Bob. WB5DRI. Okay, Bob, very good. K2SJP, WB5DRI. Well, I got you down for the Mosquito Alpha, and we'll see how that comes out here in just a minute. But good to hear you back in there, Bob. And I'm not sure what happened, but yeah, that's the first time that I've heard you since you initially checked in there. But anyway, let's go ahead. That is the bottom of the list. There was one other station calling. The other station calling, if you'd like to check in, this is WB5DRI. Please call now. I caught Alpha Delta, I think, at the end, but can you give me your call sign slowly, please? Okay, Bill. Kilo India 7, Zulu Alpha Delta. Bill, and I think you've checked into our net before. You may be one of our members. I'm not positive of that. But what you have for our net this morning, Bill? WB5DRI.
Okay, Bill, very good. I got you down for D Delta, and it's good to have you back in there with us. Yeah, I pretty much remembered that you were a member there, so very good, and hope everything is going well for you up there in Parowan, Utah, I think it is, out there in Utah. So good to have you. Good to hear you, Bill. Break, that is the bottom of the list as I have it. Let me go ahead and give the answer to the question at this point. I hope I have this question right. I think from my research I did, but if I messed up, somebody please let me know, and I apologize if I gave the question wrong here. But the question was, what British RAF World War II aircraft came the closest to the US P-38 Lightning, in that it was a very fast single seat, two-engine, heavily armed aircraft. And the possible answers were Alpha, the Mosquito, Bravo, the Blenheim, the Bristol Blenheim, Charlie, the Bristol Bullfighter, and Delta, the Westland Whirlwind. And the answer I was looking for here was actually Delta, the Westland Whirlwind. It's kind of an interesting airplane. Bob, K4YDB, talked about it, our commander, a little bit, and he got the question correct there. But he was talking about it and said that it looked a lot like the P-38, except it had it didn't have the double fuselage there. But there were only 144 Whirlwinds that were built, and they served in 2 RAF squadrons in the UK, while the P-38 had 10,000 units and served, of course, worldwide in all theaters. Excuse me. The Whirlwind was heavily armed with 4 20-millimeter cannon in the nose and was also used as a fighter bomber, carrying 2 500-pound bombs. It had good range for an RAF fighter, reasonable but not great speed for its time. Actually, when it first came out, I think in 1938, it was the fastest airplane out there for a while. But it had its big shortcoming was that it had unreliable engines, apparently. That was its main shortcoming. But it was fairly comparable to the P-38. It was the closest thing that I could find that the British had that was that comparable. And I hope I had it right. I thought that the Mosquito had a crew of 2 or 3. I hope I have that right. I was looking for the single-seat aircraft that's, with just one pilot, like the P-38 there. So that's how I came up with the Westland Whirlwind. But it's kind of interesting. Of course, the the P-38 had more formidable armament as well than this aircraft. It had 4 50-caliber machine guns, as we know, with 2,000 rounds, and 1 20-millimeter cannon with 150 rounds. Of course, on the P-38, mounted on the fuselage center line. So it was a very formidable armed aircraft, as we know, fighter and fighter bomber. And that permitted aerial kills and strafing runs at ranges up to 1,000 yards. And the P-38's guns and cannon could destroy any aircraft, most locomotives, and some small ships. And of course, they put it could carry, extra external tanks, fuel tanks that could be jettisoned in flight, and that's the way they made the mission against Yamamoto there, with the external fuel tanks, and they jettisoned them during the flight. But the P-38 also could carry bombs, and of course quite a bit more, double the amount that the Westland Whirlwind could carry. Anyway, I hope everybody enjoyed this question.
I was kind of inspired by Lee to come up with this question, but I actually found it in the book by Dan Hampton called Operation Vengeance. So anyway, hope everybody enjoyed that. Let's go ahead and start a quick 73 round. Actually, several of you got it right, and Don was the first one right out of the gate to get it right with Delta, as did our commander, Charlie K4YDB, Mike KF0OPE, my older brother Dale, and also Bill KI7ZAD also had the question correct here with Delta. So let's go ahead and get started with a quick 73 round. Can you bring in Don, Bob, K1BOB, K0ZNC? You're up, Don. Congratulations. WB5 DRI.
And Don, go ahead. You're up, Don. K1BOB, back to net.
Info.
Okay, very good, Don. 73 is to you, and thanks for joining us this morning. Break with you, Charlie. What was the info?
I just want to let you guys know that Justin's over here in the chat, over here on the stream. He said he had a real good time over there meeting Dale, and he's got his bike out there. He said it's just really, really hot. Anyway, I just thought I'd throw that in there. It's K4YDB.
Okay, Charlie, very good. K4YDB says that Justin KB7LAK says he's on the chat with on Charlie's chat there on YouTube on the live stream, and he says he really had a great time with W5OG and his wife Carolyn there. That they had a good time. So very good. Break. Let's go ahead and move on here. Let's go to Lee out in Belleville, Texas. W4PUO. Lee, you're up for the 73 round. WB5 DRI.
WB5 DRI, W4PUO. Thank you, Brian, and good net today. By the way, I'd like to pass along a message to K6AER Mike there in Alamogordo, New Mexico. If you're still listening, Mike, K6AER, I'd like to get with you on the email after the net. My name is Lee, and the email is Lee Ransom, RANSOM, @Reagan.com. Thank you, Brian. Thanks again. Nice to hear everybody today. 73 to all flyers. WB5 DRI, W4PUO. Okay, very good, Lee. W4PUO, WB5 DRI, and Bill, let's see, I'm sorry, Mike, K6AER, if you're still listening, Lee would like to get with you after the net there, and he gave his email address. I don't know if you copied that or not. I didn't quite get it. Did you want to give your email again, Lee? Yeah, the email here is W4PUO is LEERANSOM @Reagan, REAGAN.com. Go ahead.
Okay, Lee Ransom, LEERANSON @Reagan.com. Is that right, Lee?
Yeah, the last letter in Ransom Ransom as a Mary.
Last letter is what? Over?
R-A-N-S-O-M as in Mike.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's Lee Ransom. Leeransom as in Mike at Reagan.com. Okay, very good, Lee. 73 to you, Lee, and always good to hear you out there. Break with you. Let's go to our other Lee on the net this morning, N5BE. I hope they got your power straightened out there. You're up for the 73 round, Lee. WB5 DRI. Okay, Lee. Well, I'm glad I didn't mess up on the question there. I tried to research all those aircraft to make sure that I had it right, and I think the Mosquito had more than just a pilot, so that was why I came up with a single seat. That was part of the question there. I thought that was the key, as many stations pointed out there, or a couple of stations pointed out there. So, very good. Always good to hear you, Lee, and sorry to hear about your power. Makes you want to have a Generac, and in fact, I'm thinking about getting one here. I'm going to start researching that with the folks here locally to see what all would be involved with that and how much it would cost for the installation and the maintenance and so forth. So anyway, 73 to you, Lee. Thanks for joining us as always, and thanks for all your help on NetLogger and so forth in the past. But have a good day there. Hope they get your power straightened out. Break with you. Let's go back to Carl, KF7GJO. Carl in Sparks, Nevada. You're up, sir, for the 73 round, WB5 DRI.
Idiot award again today for getting the question wrong. Aye. Well, what can I say? You led me astray when you were talking about operations engines and everything like that, and well, hey, it was fun. I had a good time, and that's what this is all about. Yeah, as to the Generac, our set I generate is installed in the motorhome, so fortunately, that power failures are the exception rather than the rule. Except for a year and a half ago when we lost power starting New Year's Day and it was out for 6 days. Other than that, so hey, everybody have a fantastic day. Be sure to open the doors and the travelers again tomorrow. WB5DRI is KF7GJO.
Okay, Carl, well, you're booming in here now. You're up to a S7 plus, so sounding good there, and always good to hear you from Sparks. And those generators really come in handy when you have those, especially when you have those long power outages. We have a few of them here in San Antonio, but not that many, but we did have one winter storm a couple of years ago that was pretty bad, and we were down for several days. The power was off and on, and only a few hours a day. But our power company here locally kind of messed up, and anyway, it is what it is. But those things can be a real savior for sure when you do have the problems there with power. Let's see. Let's go to John out in Peoria again. W7AJN. John, you're up for the 73 round. WB5 DRI.
Okay, W7AJN, WB5DRI. Well, good to hear you this morning, John, and 73s to you. Have a great day there, and our regards to your wife and also to Michaela there. I hope she's doing well. 73s to you. Let's go back to Hamul. And John, thanks for all your help this morning. And you're up, sir. WA6LJS, WB5DRI. Okay, thank you, Brian. WB5DRI, WA6LJS. Well, interesting conditions because on the 73 round and toward the end of the regular round, a lot of the guys were dropping out. They were quite strong the first go-round, but they went down in the noise, and even on the SDRs I was having trouble. But you're one of the ones that stays solid. You were the whole time better than 9. Right now you're about 10 over 9. But some of the other stations were going down. Thanks for the information on the coils. I think it was Mike, one of the guys there, mentioned, I haven't done that. I ought to go out there and take the garden hose and clean out those coils on the air condition, see how that does. And thanks, Dale, for the information regarding a 20-degree drop. I'm going to measure that again today. It just seems like last year when I measured the events, it was colder than it was yesterday when I measured it. But we'll see. I'll take a look at it. But I think we're going to be using it today because it's going to be 90 today. And Brian, regarding the Generac generator, you know, I have one. I have a 16 kW one, and the 16 kW powers the whole house, including even tested running the linear amplifier on it with a lot of the other stuff in the house running. And that was all I need. Some of my neighbors put in the 23 kW, but some of those are bigger houses too, with a 2-story, and some of those 2-stories have 2 air conditioners. But for me, a single-story house, 16 kW Generac did everything for me. The only thing they kind of take you to the cleaners on some of their maintenance. So, but you can do that yourself. My first oil change about 6 months ago, I called them up and they said, oh yeah, we'll come out, change the oil and the filter for $350. And I said, what? That's outrageous. So I ordered a filter from them. I think it was $12 or $14 for the filter. And then I went up and bought a couple quarts of oil. And put it in. Did it myself. It's not a problem at all. The housing lifts up and you get at everything. So you if you do a lot of the maintenance yourself, you don't have to worry about the cost of too much maintenance. Other than that, 73s. Back to you, Brian, and thanks, Mike, ENT, for helping with the Ned logger there. WA6LJS, back to Ned. Okay, John, very good. Thanks for all that information. WA6LJS, WB5DRI. Appreciate that, and I'm going to look into it and see what it would take to take care of this house, and definitely consider it, because it would be a great thing to have here, to be able to have that thing kick in when the power cuts out. Anyway, 73s, John. Break with you. Let's go to our commander. Congratulations, Bob, on getting the question correct there, getting the answer. K1BOB, WB5DRI.
K1BOB, very good, Brian. I enjoyed your question. Yeah, I always have to go back and look at the qualifiers and go over them a few times to make sure, because that's how I get them wrong a lot of the time. I don't get them right all the time, that's for sure. But that was interesting. Let's see. Dale, that picture with your bride and Justin's wife there came out very well. I got it. Some question whether it made it to Charlie or not to include on our YouTube stream there. I hope that's not a problem with anybody. But I don't know if that's on your camera or that was on Justin's. Maybe you can tell me. I just like to see that it gets to Charlie, if that's okay with you guys, and we can post it as one of our personality pictures. Anyway, that's all I have. I got to make a call to Joe about some business, and I'll get on the ASFC net here when I can. K4YDB, back to you, Brian. Thank you very much for running the net, and Leon, John for doing logger.
Okay, you bet, Bob. You're welcome, and thanks again, Bob, for everything you do there. 73s to you, and let's go back to Las Cruces to Joe out there. W5ABI. Joe, you're up for the 73 round. WB5 DRI.
WB5DRI, W5ABI. Good net, Brian. Didn't get it right. I didn't want to copy Bob. Anyhow, I went along with the lemon. Thanks for running the net. 73s, all the flyers. WB5DRI, W5ABI.
Okay, Joe, 73s to you. Good to have you with us this morning. Break with W5ABI. Let's go to Ray out in New Jersey again. WB2JJO. You're up for the 73 round, Ray. WB5 DRI. Okay, Ray, very good. Well, 73s to you, Ray. And stay on the cool side of the door there if you can. WB2JJO, 73s. Break with you. Let's go to Chris, KS5KY. Chris, you're up for the net. WB5 DRI for the 73 round. Okay, Chris, very good. We'll talk to you some tomorrow, 73s. Have a good day there in Bowling Green. Break with KS5KY. We're back to our Ustream, our live stream YouTube guy and net control there in Cartersville. K4YDB. Charlie, you're up for the 73 round with a correct answer there. WB5 DRI.
WB5DRI, K4YDB. Well, thanks for running the net today, Brian. It was a really good net, and your signal has held up very nicely through the entire net. You're the only one so far that's been pretty consistent. But anyway, 73s, everybody. Everybody have a good day, and I'm going to go play in the dirt again. It's K4YDB back to net.
Okay. Charlie, we'll have fun playing the dirt. Yeah, I did that yesterday. Well, I mowed my yard yesterday, so I got out and I feel kind of pretty proud of myself about that. It was fairly warm, but I still got the job done, and it looks pretty good, so I'm pleased. So anyway, Charlie, thanks for all you do, 73s. Break with K4YDB. Let's go back out to Corona, California to Jim, W6WAY. You're up for the 73 round, Jim, WB5 DRI. Okay, Jim, 73s to you. Have a good day out there in Corona. Hope it doesn't get too hot. Break with W6WAY. Let's go to our net controller, net logger station up in Oklahoma City. Chief Mike, WW5ENZ. Mike, you're up for the 73 round, WB5DRI. Okay, Mike, well, thanks for that information about the Generac there. Yeah, I was wondering how big of a Generac I might need. I have about 2,400 square feet in my house, and I have gas hot water heater and a gas stove. And I still have a dryer, of course, and dishwasher that are electric. But anyway, we'll see how that comes out. I hope I can get a Generac that doesn't have to be too big, but we'll see. But thanks for that information. And 73s to you, Mike. Have a good day up there in near Oklahoma City. Always good to hear you in there. Break with WW5ENZ. We're back to my older brother, Dale, W5OG. Dale, congratulations on getting the question, the answer correct there. You're up for the 73 round, WB5DRI.
Okay, don't forget the other Mike, KF0OPE. I don't know if he's signed out or not, Brian, but you skipped over him, perhaps. And I'll just say 7-3. I would like to talk to a K6AER about my line noise problem at home, and it does have a 60 cycle. It's pretty clearly evidentiary, at least. It looks like it's line noise to me. But I don't understand why it would be intermittent like that. That's my. But if he's still around, Mike, if you're K6AER, if you're still around after the net, I would like to pick your brain just a bit. Back to net 7-3, everybody. We'll see you on Echolink W5OG.
Okay, Dale, 73s, and Dale would like to talk to Mike there, K6AER. If you're still listening, K6AER. Bill, if you're still listening, Dale, W5OG, would like to talk to you after the net there. 73s, Dale, and love to you and Carolyn there. You guys have a great day there in Rapid City. And let's break with you. Let's go to, I think, I'm pretty sure that Mike checked out. He gave his 73s earlier. So let's go to K2SJP. If you're still in there, Bob, you're up for the 73 round, WB5DRI.
WB5DRI. This is K2SJP remote. And thank you for running the net today. Brian, you did a great job. And I have to listen more attentively because you were looking for the single seater. ended up with the wrong answer because of that. So sometimes I don't listen to the whole thing. I think I know it, and I am not a know-it-all, that's for sure, especially with fighter aircraft and all. I did buy the book over at the Air Force Museum, and it's sitting there. I need to study it and learn more about some of the fighters that a lot of you guys really are familiar with. I'm like the pedal jumper, you know, in the slow 500-mile-an-hour airplanes. So that's the deal from me. Back to you, Brian. 73s, everybody, and we'll catch whoever on Echolink. WB5DRI, K2SJP, remote.
Okay, Bob, 73s to you. Good to have you with us there, and we'll talk to you the next time. Break with K2SJP. Let's try K6AER and see if he's still in there with us. And if you are, Mike, there's a couple of stations that would like to talk to you there after the net. K6AER, you're up for the 73 round, WB5DRI. Well, fellas, I think he may have moved on there. So we'll give him a 73s, and let's see if Bill, KI7ZAD, is still in there. Bill, if you're still in there, you're up for the 73 round, WB5DRI. Well, I'm not hearing Bill. I think I'm going to go ahead and close out the net. I need to get off at this point. I may be on Echolink on our conference node AFFC in a little bit here, but I have to say 73s to all, and I thank everybody for joining us on the net this morning, all the participants and all the relays and all the help here. Hey, everybody have a great day. This is WB5DRI. God bless our troops. God bless the USA. And I will be closing the Air Force's Flyers Club net and returning their frequency to normal amateur use. 73s, everybody.